How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the corner. I am the DM as always, and today I want to talk about these numbers because they're huge, but they don't tell the whole story. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it with this article by Game Reporter. Yes, this image comes from Game Reporter. All links used in the video will be down in the description as always because I have integrity, unlike some people. Now, in here, over as reported by Gamer Reporter, it really is a groundbreaking achievement for the ARPG market, having, as they say, an unprecedented peak of over 500,000 concurrent players, and this number has only gotten bigger as of 2 minutes ago when I pulled this chart up, which was only about a minute ago. If we refresh, we could see this is now 3 minutes ago, 538,000. This is how many players are currently playing. This is just through Steam, okay? But let's continue, okay? In a recent video, GGG co-founder Jonathan Rogers outlined Path of Exile 2's success, but also warned players that they should expect some waiting time throughout the early access weekend. And this is extremely true. As I mentioned in my first video covering this, which may or may not come out before this one, there was about 2 hours additionally after the quote-unquote launch of the Path of Exile 2 closed beta, or early access rather, where players weren't able to get into the actual game. They had some back-end server issues with people trying to get into the game. They were trying to do some last-minute refinements and upgrades, some little bit of tweaks to ensure a smooth introduction into the game. But as soon as people were actually able to get into the game and the back-end problems stopped being an issue, it was basically smooth sailing from there. As he said in here, they really weren't expecting more than about 1 million players online at the same time. And that they had already ordered way more cloud capacity, and those servers would be coming online very soon. And they didn't really know how their backend was going to do. And really, that kind of thing is not new for any online game. Even Final Fantasy XIV during Endwalker and during Shadowbringers, they really weren't aware of just how their backend was going to work, handle the server load. And in the end, they had some server issues, but nowhere near what like not Stormbringer. Oh my God, what was the expansion called? Um, Stormblood. Nowhere near what Stormblood was. When Stormblood came out, there was a very much a meme going around about Raubon Savage, because every time you try to go to a quest that Raubon gave you, a lot of players were disconnecting right at that part, and it really wasn't possible. But the amount of issues you had there was way worse than what was going on here. As they continue to go on and say, released into early access with a starting price of just $30. Keep in mind that when the game fully launches, it will be completely free to play. It managed to attract a massive player base despite the game not being free to play at that stage. Then demonstrates significant trust and anticipation from the gaming community from what the sequel promises to deliver in terms of content and gameplay. I am about 4 hours in. There are a lot of people who have already completed the first act. I don't know how long they were playing. I know some people have VODs up that are like 12 hours long, right? And a lot of them are like just the first act. This game is massive. The amount of content and gameplay that it gives you to just explore and do what you will. Ooh, wee! Mwah, mwah, mwah. Delicious, delicious content, right? So it continues to go on to talk about the influx not being without a challenge. As I said, there were significant server strains. I had some queue times, which is what they talk about here. But here's the thing: those queue times, when I first got into it, the queue times where I was at like 12,000. I was in game from starting at 12,000. I was in game within about 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, that is like fucking nothing compared to what some people are going through. Now, I'll have all these because I want to sort of pull these up. They were very, very transparent with with what they were doing, right? This very first one, they were talking about doing some last minute databases to try and help the overwhelming login process that they were sure was going to come. Then they were talking about how they were still working on their database improvements and will keep them updated. This was shortly after where the launch was intended, about 17 minutes afterwards. It continued to talk. They continued not 15 minutes later talking about the new configuration and how they were still working on it. Their estimations being about half an hour, and that was around about what it was, about half an hour. They gave us another update about half an hour later, talking about they found some last minute crashes that would have affected the majority of the issues that we now have fixed and is being deployed, right? And then about 15 minutes later, Jonathan released a statement saying that the launch was relatively imminent. And then about another half hour later, they ran into some configuration issues, the need to restart the realms, but please bear with us while they address the issues. Then about another 5 minutes later, they ran into another issue, just being very transparent, telling everyone about what is going on, right? They talked about how this one was because of multiple characters having the same character ID. And that the issue was found and is being fixed at the moment. They then continued being transparent another 15 minutes later. This is in integers of 15 minutes, okay? It's not like these are integers of like 30 minutes, hour, none of that. 15 minutes at a time. They were basically giving us point by point updates with how this was going, right? Talking about this one was just them wanting to thank their engineers and server administrators who had been working all night and into the morning. And at this point, for us in America, this was again 2 p.m. This was into the afternoon, right? So for us, they were up at like the butt crack of dawn for us in the Americas, and into the afternoon working on this. And I just gotta say, 07s, let me pull up this, let me slide myself over and just give proper 07s to the back end engineers and server administrators that were working on this from the butt crack of dawn all the way up and through the launch. All of y'all are fucking heroes, my dude. Y'all are fucking heroes for working on this and getting this shit up and running and getting it stable while all of us waited patiently ready for y'all to get this shit up and running for us to enjoy this amazing game. Oh, fucking sevens to every single one of you unsung heroes. Okay. Continuing on, again, 20 minutes later, okay? 20 minutes that they said that they ran into the same symptom again, but with a different problem, that they're still working to fix it. Regrettably, every time they have this kind of issue, they have to restart and wipe the databases to ensure that there are no corrupted or bad states for their server shards, okay? They continue to go on, okay? This one is about 30 minutes later, right? Now, at this point, right, most people are actually in the game, okay? A lot of people are logged in, they've got their character, they're running through games. This was put out while I was on my run through with my second character, with my second attempt, right? Talking about some of the parties being placed in parties with random players rather than people that they're trying to party up with. They got this sorted very, very quickly. I don't know what the heck. So this is the one that this was supposed to be. I don't know what was going on there. But so this was talking about players who are still in the queue, right? Letting them know how they are letting people in. They're doing it in batches so they can monitor the back end and not overload it, right? Because they want to make sure people who are in the game can continue playing smoothly and not have to worry about it, while those who are in queue do not get pushed out of the queue and disconnected or something and lose their spot in the queue, right? And so this came out 3 minutes after this, right? Letting people know. Then they came in with this one that they were aware of some people because Steam was having some issues, or the Steam keys were having issues where people were buying it, but it wasn't being authenticated. They were trying to log in. It was telling them that they didn't have the Steam key, and they're like, "Hey, look, we're aware of this. The reason why is because our website's down because." Like fucking millions of players are trying to access the website and whatnot. And I even tried accessing the website several times. I was getting 404 errors. I was getting just straight host connectivity issues where you're just not, the host is not able to connect with you because of just being overloaded, right? And they wanted to let you know that their website team is on it. That is their top priority to restore this service so they can play the game. And they gave yet again another huge thank you to people who are being supportive, who are being understanding of them and everything. Then they released another one about an hour later, letting them know that this issue should be fixed and that those who are purchasing it should be able to log in through Steam, hopefully soon. And then just 15 minutes later, them saying, "Hey, we've resolved this issue. We're putting it out, and that all of our purchase queues should be done and processed in about 15 minutes. And bing, bam, boom, pretty much everyone was able to get on. Now, at the start of this video, I said that this picture up here does not tell the whole story. And that is because this is just on Steam. You have to remember, this launched on every single platform all at once, which was why there were so many issues with the servers right? They launched on Xbox, they launched on PlayStation, and they launched on PC and Steam all at once, okay? And they had Jonathan released a video the day before the official launch talking about how they had just hit 1 million and it kept going up, right? So they got 500,000 through Steam, and then you have over 500,000 from all the other platforms, right? So my rough estimate, given how overloaded their servers were, but how quickly they got them fixed, patched up, and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if they were probably at like 1.5, maybe 1.75 million when all was said and done and when launch day came. I really wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they have over 2 million, right? We don't know the hard numbers, at least I don't think we do. Let me do a quick search and see if I can find the numbers. Yeah, so there are no official numbers for the actual total or anything. Xbox and Sony don't really release their numbers either. Xbox might at some point. I don't know. We'll see. But I really wouldn't be surprised if this game was at like 1.5, 2 million players. And this is just early access. Okay. Now, you have to look, when you look at this chart, right? You want to actually, because you see like this dip right here, right? Where it goes from about 450 down to 284. This is like in the very early morning. People are starting to get off the game, go into bed and everything. But you can see right here at 7 o'clock, people are waking up and immediately getting back on the game. And the number just fucking skyrockets up, right? There were a lot of people over here, right, that weren't getting on because of all the server. And understandably so. They're like, you know what? I'm going to wait until the next day because the servers are going to be more stable. And you can see that. And if this wasn't true over here, it would have probably capped out around the same number as over here. But it didn't. It went above it. Okay. 538,000. This number is only going to keep increasing. 539,000. Okay. As of 7 minutes ago. Absolutely insane numbers. GGG, you put out a banger fucking early access. I'm in love with it. Everyone's in love with it. I'm gonna probably do another video, maybe today or tomorrow, talking about some things that I've already noticed that I'm sure are gonna get patched, which are just like little minor things that I want to see, that I want to get feedback on. That's probably gonna be one of the few videos I release on and share on the Twitter. I'm gonna tag GGG in them, and I'm gonna hope that they see the video. I'm gonna put in some feedback in text form if I can figure out how to do that. Because I love this game. I'm gonna be giving constant videos on it every single day. I'm gonna be doing constant playthrough videos, constant videos talking about this shit because this is my new hotness. This is the new hype for me. And yeah, so that's all I've got for this video. Thank you all for coming to my corner. I've been Deem as always. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, hit dislike, leave a comment, let me know why you think Diablo 4 is better than Path of Exile. I'll let you know why it isn't. I will see you all next time.